Okay. All that's good. Just give me a second here. I just need to turn that gain filter back on, or not gain filter, but the okay. So this should work. Yeah. Cool. I just need to do that because otherwise there's a lot of passive noise going on. Our neighbors having some construction done. Not so. Anyways, hey guys. I'm a little late. Is this even playing anymore? Oh, it is. It's just so low it can't be up by the. Okay, cool. So, yeah, as you guys all know, I'm a day late. Shocker, but really couldn't do much about that because the maintenance ran till a very early hour, and unlike previous times, I actually have to be up early now for work and stuff, so that's not gonna fly. But I'll see what I can do about it in the future. I might be able to make something work with it, but anyways, we have a lot to go over today. We have the new big fat update patch drop, and we have a good chunk of content, pretty much. I know a lot of people aren't going to be watching because, you know, a lot of people just watch it live really quick because, you know, while they're downloading the patch and whatnot. So we'll just go. I'm thinking of really streamlining this because I think most people have already seen what the patch has to offer. So I'll look to just do like my normal content pretty much. Now, I noticed somebody mentioning that JT saying I had it confused when I originally made this video announcement where I had the wrong suit thumbnail. Not exactly true. That's actually YouTube's fault, and it's something that's been very common occurrence, I think that's the way to put it. Long and short, when you create a live stream and you base it off a previous one, which I do because it carries over all my settings. It carries over my latency settings, the delay settings, carries over the game, pretty much like all the stuff I really don't want to have to go through the menu and set every single time. I just copy it over from one to the next. And in doing that, it also takes the old thumbnail because it's already cached. So I have to update the thumbnail, but that gets done after the reuse settings is done. So YouTube caches that. So I'll pretty much just caching. But yeah, it has the right thumbnail after 30 seconds to a few minutes, depending on how YouTube decides to play that day. Anyways, let's get cracking. We do have a good chunk of stuff to go over. We have the new AI pilots, we have the welfare. Thankfully, only one gadget suit this time. Anyways, we'll start off with the welfare, and we'll continue on from there as normal. So the Aristocracy coin for Digna. When attack with beam mid-shot attack raised, so this is just going to affect your neutrals. It's not actually going to affect like EX skills or anything, which is, yeah, who cares really? Yeah, we finally got AI trait update. Yeah, the because we've had trait and EX skill upgrade things for our Gunpla parts, not for AI. So a lot of AIs have been kind of left out to dry pretty much, so this update really helped them out, which is good. You know, it was something that was a long time coming. Stat wise, it has slightly higher than average shot attack, nothing else really amazing about it. Support type mid-range, not terribly common tags, but not really rare either, so it's interesting, you know. Torso, when one enemy shot down, Vernier consumption 0 for 10 seconds. I personally don't find Vernier consumption being reset to be very useful. That's going to vary player to player, really. That's going to be something that, you know, it all depends on your play style and everything. So, you know, kind of varies. But the fact that its restriction is one enemy has to be shot down pretty much means that you can't use it in anything that's a one-on-one scenario, which is a good chunk of content, not majority, a good chunk of it, so just something to keep in mind. Stat wise, that's a lot of armor for a welfare torso. Beyond that, it seems we do have a decent enough stat pool. Its shot attack for a welfare on the torso is actually pretty high, pushing up to what, over 1,000? Not bad at all. Arms, power attribute, shot guidance boosted. I've talked about shot guidance before. Much like the Vernier consumption, I don't find it to be very useful. But again, depends on your build, depends on what you're running, all that. But I think in general, most people won't find it terribly helpful for them. Yeah, support type, force space. Gets rid of the mid-range for force space. Stat-wise, even like for an integrated part, this doesn't have really amazing stats. It has good stats for sure, but it's integrated. It's kind of expected. But I would say for a welfare part, it's pretty good, all things considered. Got some good numbers on it. Obviously, its melee is kind of mid-range. Actually, may even be on the slightly higher end for welfare. Not bad. It's a decent pair of arms. Legs. Beam rush. Ready, a saber in each hand. Yeah, no, we've seen this dime a dozen, even though it has B+ power. It's something that locks you into an animation cycle. So if you whiff it, if it doesn't make the enemy stagger, you name the potential issue, this really just ain't gonna cut it. So, no. Number-wise, it's a pair of welfare legs. Backpack. The power attribute, shooting damage output boosted by 20. That's a flat number, that's worthless. Support type, mid-range comes back again. Numerically, it's a backpack. I've used it's actually a 3-hit animation. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's not unique at all, and it still suffers from most of what the other melee cutscenes do. Is as soon as you use it, you're just locked into it. But if it's fast, at least, that negates one of the biggest issues with those kind of cutscenes. But even then, right, you have to not whiff it, and you have to be able to stagger your opponent, or chances are they're just going to maul you while you're doing your animation anyways. Are you still going to go over the Age FX and the Double X alt? Most likely, yes, because those are new content. As much as I want to streamline it, I do still want to go over the new stuff like alterations. When I say streamline, I'm pretty much looking to cut out things like talking about the patch notes and whatnot, because we've talked about them before, and I think by now most people have poked and prodded around along to figure them all out. So, yeah. Beam Saber. Yeah, it's a beam sword. Not that great. It's a welfare one. Support job, enemy melee power reduced. We do have a lot of support palettes in this game. A lot of them are very easy to obtain, and being able to reduce the enemy melee's power by 25% is pretty solid. This will affect melee EX skills as well as just melee neutrals in general, so it's pretty solid. Other than that though, it's a welfare part. The beam rifle. When attack with beam, shooting power boosted. So if you lack a good EX skill or trait on your beam rifle weapon, now to note, there's a lot of really good stuff available in the exchange pool, so you may want to check that out. But in case you just want to have something, easy to EX max and all that, and here you go. Yep, shooting power boost by 25% with beam. There is a ton of very powerful beam EX skills in the shot roster, so that's pretty dope. Numerically, it's a beam rifle. At least, considering what we've seen come from the welfare pool before for beam rifles, this is actually relatively high. Kind of sad. Anyways, moving on. My favorite class of weapon, the launcher. Beam ranged weapon reload speed boosted. Personally, I don't find that very useful, but again, depends on your build, depends on what you're running and what you're doing, and what you think to be valuable. Yep. At least it's a beam launcher, not a physical launcher, but yeah. Anyways, it's is what it is. But overall, the suit's not terrible. It has some really interesting numbers on it and some nice word tags. And it may be sitting kind of higher up on the welfare list, as we've seen becoming a little more common over the last few welfares. But yeah, I think the beam rifle on that one's like the biggest wow factor for me anyways, because it has a very nice trait on it, being able to boost your shooting power by 25% for just existing. Now, we have close combat, Zaku type, ace exclusive, amphibious, and 4 urban. Well, as you can see, close combat, I definitely need more of. So for me, this is quite nice to see. 10 out of 10. Alright. Cool, cool, cool. Now, just something to go over really quick, because I don't know how many people actually read patch notes or pay attention. But if you go to your builder's training, you can actually do 10 rolls now and auto convert everything lower than 3-star, or sorry, everything 3-star and lower. It's dope. I was able to max out a ton of suits I've left on the back burner and go through over 250,000 build points. I highly recommend using all of it now, because yeah, easier than ever. Really quick. Okay. So that all out of the way, let's go check the gacha. Because we have the Arios Gundam. Okay. Yeah, I was hoping it would say, I thought it said limited rounds. I was very confused. I was like, wait, a new gacha suit, but you can only roll so many times on it? Savage. Tags on welfare parts have become a lot more important. That is true, considering one of the big changes with this new patch is the more parts that you have at 99, so completely maxed out, the more you contribute towards your word tag word tag rank. So for example, Arios Gundam part here. If I got it up to level 99, so I maxed out its part trait, the high mobility and transformer tags that are on it would contribute to my overall word tag ranking for those specific tags. Now I would get points towards it, and as you get more points and you tap out the gauges, they will level up and you can get really good rewards and craft new things from that. So it's prudent to invest into your welfare parts now more than ever to get them to level 99. It is easier than ever to do this, as we have an abundance of tune-up parts to get stuff to 6-star, and a lot of upgrade nippers as long as you just kind of play the game every now and again, do some event stuff. You'll find yourself swimming in them and capital in no time. Now, Arios. Yeah, you only need 15 points to get blue gear of a word tag, sure. What about purple? What about the inevitable gold? How about that 6-star orange? Panic. Anyways, let's look at the noggin. With power attribute, enemy shooting power reduced. So much like reducing enemy melee power, this will affect shooting neutrals as well as shooting EX skills. Cool. Not something I'd really want on a core offensive suit. I'd rather have an offensive trait like boosting my EX skill damage or boosting my own shooting power. But this does have a fit with, depending on the type of suit you run, potentially your +2 or +3 for 3-on-3 arenas or such. We don't have more than blue yet. Sure, yet, but it's inevitable. Like everything else. High mobility transformer, we already talked about those tags being on it. They are quite nice tags. They offer well, lots of versatility with what we have available in the game. They act as very good triggers to activate nice traits. I can't remember the exact parts, but I know that high mobility and transformer both are used for other stuff, so why not collect them? Numerically, like, it's good. It's not Sokai tier, shocking, but when you compare it to the other parts that are available in the 4-star pick ticket pool, as this is a non-limited suit, so it will end up in there 4 weeks after this event's over, or I guess 4 weeks from today. Anyways, end of the day, it's okay. I may put it slightly higher than some of its competitors just because, you know, it does break 4K without any tags or anything on it. So for the pick ticket pool, it's not bad. Not really the biggest fan of the trait though, like I said. Middle shooter job, EX skill power boosted. Now see, this is something that I would slot onto my core offensive suit right here. High mobility transformer. I already talked about those tags, how I feel about them. Numerically, we're actually carrying over a lot. That's about what, 1600 shot attack, about 1300 melee, 3k armor. Not that bad. Pretty good numbers for a non-limited torso. Hey. Okay, GN submachine gun, D power. Nope. Nope. High mobility transformer again. Numerically, wow, there's a lot of melee on this, which is surprising. But I guess the Arios was kind of a close combat. Actually, no, it was more like a mid-range. It did a little bit of both. Because it was able to get up and close for melee, but it also had the guns for like mid-range engagement. So, although I guess it was more pistols than guns, so it was definitely more mid-close than, you know, mid. Okay, I can see the melee. Shot-wise, it's actually still really highly ranked for a 4-star pick ticket piece, so got no complaints numerically on this. You do have 0 resistance on it, but just don't get hit. Shocking. Oh. I'm out with top tier strats. Another Gundam game, Mobile Suit The Origin, based on the Bleach Immortal Soul. I've yet to actually enjoy a Bleach mobile game. Like, I tried a couple because I don't mind the IP. It has some, like, interesting characters, but overall, just, I don't know, I never managed to stick with one for very long because I just found either the combat wasn't engaging enough or, like, the art style of, like, in combat or whatever just turned me off, so. I think the last Bleach game I really enjoyed, it was that fighter on the Wii. I can't remember what the heck it was called. That was the last one. Then again, that's also the last time I played a actual like Bleach game in general. So, anyways, moving on. Yeah, so the arms are pretty good for what they are. Legs. Launch Ptolemaeus 2. Huh. So you summon a battleship. And you know what gets me? It has D power. You summon a battleship. And it does D power rated damage. Right. Alright, raise your shot attack, raise your speed. Alright, it's pretty much a standard shot buff with a very weak damage output. It's a pseudo cutscene too, it looks like, with 6 seconds initial and 60 normal. Like, this is just such a weird skill. The ship was mainly just a transport. Yeah, but like, that's not the point. It's a warship. It still has defenses on it, even if it's a support ship. Even the most casual gun mounted on a ship will have more firepower than something on a Gundam. Unless the Gundam is specifically designed to output damage, like, you know, the Virtue was. Looking at a battleship, you could just slap any old, like, 2 cannon onto that, even a 1 cannon, and call it a day. Whatever it fires out is immediately going to blow apart whatever it hits, if it's a Gundam anyway. Ptolemy 2 is a combat warship. Yeah, it's just, I don't know why they gave it D power. I guess it's so that you don't have like an S tier ability sitting, you know, brand new in the pick ticket pool. But it doesn't make sense because you have the Exia that has an S rank back EX, so I really don't understand the decision on this one. Anyways, numerically, looking, well, for a pair of legs, these are actually pretty nice. You're looking at about 1k melee attack, you're looking at about 1300 shot attack. That's pretty solid, all things considered numerically. It's just a real shame about that EX skill. Alright, backpack with rifle category equipped mid-shot attack raised. Talked about this already, moving on. High mobility mid-range, numerically, it's actually a pretty powerful backpack. Looking at it, You're breaking about, what, 1k shot attack? You're breaking 1300 melee? Honestly, that's really high for a pick ticket part. Nice. So traits are right off, but the stats are really good, and that seems to run true for like a lot of this stuff. While Transformer melee power boosted. There you go. Huh. That's actually not bad numerically for something in the pick ticket pool. Alright, no, the beam swords are pretty good. I still prefer Gerber Straight Tiger Pierce, but that's purely because I enjoy the EX cooldown and the fact that they bring the two best melee tags to the table, or what used to be, but at least now they bring Pro Tag, and Close Combat can be your optional third. Before it used to be Pro Tag, Close Combat was like the bread and butter. So not a bad pair of swords. Again, pick ticket pool's doing pretty hot today. Enemy EX skill power reduced when power tribute. Okay. Yeah. Easy to activate power. Being able to reduce the enemy's EX skill is good. But as I said, I like these on not like primary suits. I like them putting on like my support or secondaries. But it's a solid trait. Reducing the enemy EX skill damage is a very good way to avoid taking any damage, because a lot of people are building purely around EX skill damage. So, yeah. And numerically, it's pretty much the same as the sword was. Very good numbers for what it is. Yeah. Yeah, overall, like, the Arios has some really good numbers. For what it is, it has really good numbers. Just the EX skill selection is kind of... some of the traits I don't really like that much. But overall... for a ticket thing, pretty okay. Pretty okay. Nothing like that crazy head we had from a few weeks ago where it had like the best melee buff we'd seen. So, anyways. What would you recommend using the premium material on? Additional build part or additional AI pilot? It really just depends on your use case. Myself, I'm probably going to be using it to expand my AI pilots, because the pool for AI pilots has gotten excessively saturated these days, so being able to pluck them out with a standard capsule ticket is getting more and more impossible as the days go by. So I find that I'm using my premium materials to snipe those as they come and go. I find that that's typically to me, the best returns. Have you done the daily crew mission? Stupid hard. No, I've heard a lot about it though. Yet to really explore this entire patch. I've been really busy today. Really my first like breather kind of thing. Just use one crystal ticket. Makes it way easier. Keep that in mind, Mana. Feeling the Exia repair coming out soon. Oh, that'd be neat. Neat. We had the Kshatriya repair, so maybe. Anyways, let's move right along here as we've looked over the Arios. Yeah, I was really happy to see the Dual Gundam got an alteration. But at the same time, I'm really sad because it means I have to talk about it. That's the other reason, instead of starting at 11 my time, which is in 5 minutes from now, as I normally do for these streams, which is patch time, I started 30 minutes earlier because I knew I was going to be here a while. I should have actually started a full hour earlier, so 30 minutes earlier than I had projected, but can't turn back time. A technique, attribute to guts. Okay, so you get a mid shot. Okay. Yeah. Oh. I find it interesting that they gave us the blue dual pilot the same time the dual got an alteration. Interesting. Yeah. Just for a 3-star, like, she's not terrible. So, you know, that's saying something. She's got numbers at least. Do you think the game is dead? It really depends on your description of that. If you're comparing it to the Titans, you know, you're comparing it to games like Grand Blue, Fate Grand Order, you know, things like that, yeah, it's dead. It was a doornail. But if you're comparing it to things that aren't flavor of the month, things that have a more dedicated player base, well, still alive. still thriving. If it wasn't, we wouldn't be seeing so much content being popped out. You know, we'd be seeing a ton more free stuff thrown at us, or, you know, huge discounts applied. I've noticed that a tactic for a lot of games that are like hemorrhaging players to bait them all in. I know a handful of people that picked up the new Disgaea RPG mobile game and are super hype about that, and they're playing it, and I'm there like, this is gonna die super quick. Like, this is the flavor of the month game. But when I say die, I don't mean no one's gonna play it anymore. I just mean it's gonna go from, you know, everyone and their mother talking about it and playing it to maybe like 5 to 10% tops actually continuing with it and playing with it. It doesn't mean the game is dead. It just means that the initial hype has worn off, because that's something that happens quite often. People kind of get into a rut, and yeah, they eventually leave. The game's still alive though. There's still a good amount of community left, if not on the English side, at least on the JP side, from what I understand. Anyways, Kincaid now. Infighter. Okay, so his stats are pretty much like cookie cutter. He doesn't have the best melee stat, but decent enough. Trait is crit rate boost. Personally don't like it, but if you're building a crit rate machine, there you go. You got some extra numbers to play with. Close combat hand mobility. Definitely tags you can work with. Nothing amazing, pretty much. Okay. The gacha is interesting this week. Anyways, what are our exchange for the event? Heavy Arms, Sandrock, and the Wing Gundam Finiche. Wait, is this the normal Sandrock or the EW? Okay, I was hoping we finally got our hands on the normal Sandrock, because currently you can only get it on the JP client if you insert a code from the box with the Gunpla in it. The passcode entry only exists in the JP client. So yeah. Anyways, neat. Okay, so next up, let's take a look at the Twitter videos here for the EX skills. I only have the Arios up because that's the only one on the official Twitter I can find the video for. But I really just want to see what the Ptolemy looks like, you know? Where's my desktop? There it is. Ah. Go away. Alrighty. So, let us take a look at what we got with the Arios. Yeah, the Vulcan. It's a shame it has D power. That has potential if it was like B plus or something. So you actually summon the warship. Not only does it fire a barrage of missiles, but it also fires lasers. And you're gonna look me in the eye and go, yeah, that's D power. Why? This is so cool. Why did they give it D power? What the heck? Like, legitimately, that is a wicked EX skill. That's just... Why, man? Dang. Arios alter becomes wicked. I don't know. Typically, we've only seen an increase of like 2 grades whenever something gets altered. So I can see it pushing up to like maybe a B plus. And I guess that could technically save it, but maybe each hit is D, summing up to a lot of little damage. No, because that's whenever something is rated with its power rating, that's based on its like total out. D can jump to B plus. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Even if it went to B plus power, it would still be, you know, pretty okay. It wouldn't be like top tier or anything, but it'd be a good like pocket damage skill at the beginning of a match, especially considering it looks like it's AoE, which gives it huge benefit. Because typically one of the big issues with those kind of skills is that you know, they're single target. But that definitely looks AoE, which, if it got upgraded to B+, would make it very good. Use it as a skin. Yeah, but you can't fix D power. We have to wait for an altar for it to actually become viable. Whatever that's worth. Okay. So, we've looked at the welfare, the gacha, the Twitter videos, what's going on in the event blueprint, the shop. Time for my least favorite activity, looking at altars. Away we go. Yeah, I can see myself grabbing the arms just to have them for when the inevitable altar happens. Alright, so... I've already gone over all these. Yes. Alright, so what do we got? Oh, just the duel and the Floros? Oh man, I was expecting like way more stuff in here. Yes. Yeah, because I've already talked about all this stuff before. So it's just the Floros and the dual assault. So, we'll do the normal procedure for going over these things. I'm going to primarily look at what gets changed with the EX skill and what it gets turned into, as well as additional part traits added on. There's no point looking at the numbers because, frankly, they're being altered. The numbers are going to get increased anyways. I think up to this point, there's been exactly one part that did not get a direct upgrade after being altered, instead had like 10 points less or something in its primary stat. I think. I remember a bunch of people complaining about that. Although I don't know if they were just looking at like a level 1 altar. Anyways, pretty much universal. Numbers go up. Does big damage. Big oof. So I will just look at the EX skill and trade. No. Good job, Aaron. Good job. Hey, man. I'm so happy when I don't have, you know, like 7 to 8 altars I have to look over. That's like my biggest fear. You know, I have no fear. Open the altar page, see more than 5 altars. I have one fear. It's harsh, man. We had what, that like 3-hour stream or whatever where I just sat there. I can't even remember. It was a long stream. Never want to do that again. Just talking about Gunpla parts. HFX and Double X are in the middle of the limited alt list. What are they doing there? Okay, we're gonna do the Floros and the Dual Assault, and we'll go look at the other ones. So Alive and Yana. 20% speed boost, 49% shot attack boost. Alright, 49% is pretty much like the altar standard, so that works. Alright, take it. Cool. Torso. Super Galaxy Cannon! Yeah, now it's S rank. Who could have foreseen this? I didn't see that coming. I bet you didn't either. You guys aren't that big brain. Alright. Arms. While Transformer, enemy melee power reduced by 30%, while attacking with physical shooting power boosted. Now, that's nasty. Because the Strike Noir back, which is an extremely powerful magazine EX skill, is physical and shooting. There's also a lot of other very powerful shooting EX skills. Physical trait. I'm not such a big fan of the first trait, however, as it's not a offensive buff, but a more restrictive debuff. But I like that second trait quite a bit. So, unless I'm mistaken, the Ryusei goes in the normal pools under tickets. So you can, to my knowledge, actually get the full 35% out of this one. S power but no built-in buff gimps its damage output. It depends on how your suit is built. If you have other buffs available to you, or you open up with a different ability first, then you're not going to really notice much of a difference in damage output. Again, all of these things purely depend on your individual builds as players and what you're using to get your damage out, whether it's a 100% cooldown reduction build or, 120% back EX skill power build, whatever. The Florist is a limited unit, and they gave it an alter at the same time as the duel. I'm a little confused, but okay. So, yeah. Considering you're not going to be able to easily EX10 it then, that does kind of kill a lot of the value that I see in this. But the second trait is at least nice. The first trait, not so much. It's good, standalone. Not so good in the context of what the suit wants to do. Before 30 seconds pass, enemy EX skill power reduced, and torso parts EX skill power boost. But much like the arms, this is one of those things where I look at and go, oh, that second trait's real nice. But the first trait's kind of... it's still a good part, all things considered. The first trait at least will help you against enemies that have, like really stupid CD builds. Yeah. Each to their own. I wouldn't, just because I know that there's better available in the limited pools. Knowing it's in the limited pools makes this a lot easier on me, because now I can directly compare it to other limited parts. Oh, the battle circuit. Okay. Oh, nice. So this actually got upgraded to A- power, and it's a non-cutscene short cooldown. That's dope. Nice. Yeah, I don't go real many complaints about this. It looks pretty solid to me. Yeah. Spammable. I like spammable. Weapons. The Assault Knives. Initial EX skill charge boost. Nice. When attacking physical, EX skill power boost. Nice. I have no complaints. This is a solid upgrade. 10 out of 10. Wood knife again. While high firepower, shooting damage at flat numbers. Ugh. With speed attribute, initial EX skill charge boost. Now, okay. I guess there is one thing to put forward here. As it is an SMG, it technically falls under different rules than what we would expect to see from things like beam rifles, launchers, and whatever. And a flat number boost may actually be something technically viable. Here's the thing. If your damage output when you normally fire this weapon is anywhere from, 100 or so to 150, that's a significant number boost. That's the equivalent of, a 20 to 30% boost on your damage output. Because it fires a ton of bullets, and they'll all do a boosted damage. But if your shots are doing 250 plus, this return is very minimal at best. So you're probably better off looking for another set of traits or EX skill. But it is, I think, still the highest statted SMG in the game, is it not? I know it held that title when it originally came out, as it was the only natural 5-star SMG. I don't know if it still holds that title or not, though, because we've had a lot of content added since then, and I can only keep track of so much. So yeah, the first trait being useful really depends on your current damage output as a player. The second trait is just universally useful, because you get your EX skill chart. It's only initial, not true, but that's still good. So okay, that's a very interesting. Very interesting. Alright, let's look at the Dual Assault Shroud. Now, this is a standard suit. This is something you can ticket. And I ticketed it because it looks cool. I didn't ticket it, it came to me normal. I would ticket it if I didn't have it because it looks really, really cool. At least I think so. I really like the Gundam Seed suits. I just like the way that the profiles of them all look. So, anyways, Traits. Beam ranged weapon reload speed boost. Not really that useful. While high firepower, close shot attack raised by 30%. That is a neutral booster. Not very useful. Torso. Armed Aura Beta. Raise ally Vernier capacity by 25% and resist flinching. No. Is no. Shiva and 5.2 missile pod. A-, B+, 7 magazine. Now, that's actually not bad. You are able to move while shooting. Something to keep in mind, though. Most magazine EX skills, when initially altered, so like level 1, fresh off the shelf, and you alter them, you'll typically see this go up to 7 base, and when you fully capped it, anywhere from 9 to 11, typically on the higher side. So this, maxing out completely at 7, actually has a much smaller magazine size than what we normally get from these. But 7 is still a lot, especially considering there's considerable punch behind it at B power, and, you know, you're running an altered suit, you probably have a decent number in your stats anyways. So, food for thought. The legs. With power attribute, EX skill piercing boosted. I don't find that terribly useful, but I know some people do. With power attribute, shooting crit rate boosted. That is a very high percent. That is a stupidly high percent at 40. I still don't like relying on crit rate, as it is not guaranteed. So, each to their own. Oh, okay, the Shiva missile tubes have homing. That's really good then, because you are, yeah, a lot of the magazine EX skills are dumb fire, so when you shoot them, they just go in a straight line for as soon as you fire them. But if you're able to find something that has homing on it, that can help. I hate it when there's enemy AI coming like right at you, and they stand still for a second, and then they just like randomly go to the side and then come at you again. You're just like, why did you do that? Why did you just mess up my perfectly formulated plan to put you into a damage trap? Anyways, overall, my armor's 40% or more, yeah, flat melee damage boost, nah. Job gauge increase down 10%, shooting power boost. That's nice. I like that second trait. I know that the job gauges have changed now, and like the job license boosts have changed, but I don't care. I still find that you should be able to burst things down before your job gauge fills. Anyways, overall, I actually like what they did with the duel. They added some really cool things to it, and they gave it a really nice stat overhaul. A good chunk of the parts I can't say are really that great. I'd say the arms, if you have them, alter them. That's now a really decent EX skill. It's 7 magazine, B+ power, the projectiles have homing on. That's Wiggins. The backpack gives you that shooting power boost for just existing passive, and not you lose 10% of your job gauging, but whoop-de-doo. To me, anyways, right? That's dependent on your styles of yeah, pretty cool. Okay, let's go look at those two other suits you guys were talking about here. Yeah, the HFX and the Double X. Oy. These are new alters, right? I can't. Why are they so low if they're new, though? That's really confusing. Current battle circuit got 3 SD. It's gonna be Tackle May. Oh god. I hate the SD guns in battle circuit, man, because they just keep going for your kneecaps, and there's nothing you can do about it. With high firepower, EX skill power boost. Nice. With speed attribute, shooting power boosted. Nice. I see no major complaints about this. Good head. Chest launcher, B+ power, 7 magazine. Nice. Fire the Vulcan in your chest. Vulcan has a terrible connotation in this game, because Vulcans are like the worst. But it has B+ power, 7 magazine. Nice. They came out on Friday last week. Ah, okay, that's why. With rifle category equipped, shooting power boosted. Nice. Speed attribute, melee power boosted. Nice, but now I'm very confused. Because this is one of those parts that doesn't know what it wants to boost, so it gives you a little bit of A, a little bit of B. Make up your mind. Give me a melee boost or a shot boost. Don't give me a little bit of A and B here. I don't want that. But that does make it viable in different builds, because now you can slot this into a more melee-centric build and still benefit from it, or put into a shot-focused build. Still benefit. Okay. Let's keep going here. Let's look at the legs. Yeah, actually, wait, hold on a sec. Yeah, I just like the arms. Cool. Alright, legs. Twist Buster, A power. Nice. Oh no, it's something that locks you into an animation. Oh no. Well, we all know how I feel about those, don't we, gang? Didn't Garrett have an all power boost as a pilot? So that's different. Pilots are meant to go anywhere, but arts, okay, so it's like this, right? A pilot currently, very rarely will a pilot have two traits because they have to be altered. And really, so far, the only altered pilots are build project pilots. With that in mind, the only time you're going to see a pilot with more than one trait is if there is something in a very limited pool. Garrett only has one trait as he doesn't have an alter to him, meaning if you are packing him in the front or the back, you're getting a 13% all power boost. Now, if I had a pilot, like let's say, I think it was Benager Lynx, who had a little bit of column A, column B soup going on, where he boosted melee or shooting, depending on whether you were one job license or the other. And much like this part that I'm looking at, it's the same idea, where you should still try to focus on one thing and make it really good rather than split both, but it's still a nice investment, potentially, because you can put it into either type of build. Again, this boils down to what you do as a player in all your builds. Myself, I'm looking for more specialized these days. I'm looking for something that only boosts shot or only boosts melee. But back when Benager first came out, it was, yeah, sure, heck, I'll go for either or. I'm kind of working on melee suits. I'm kind of working on some extra shot suits, being able to kind of put them wherever works for me, right? It's situational. But Garrett having the 13% all power boost, that's his only ticket to fame here right now, and it's a solid boost, all things considered. So that's kind of the difference between it. A part should be focused on one thing, preferably, because, yeah, pilots, not so much, but it has the same level of, like, same level of value. Good in some situations, bad in others, not as specialized, more generic, so you can slap it wherever you want, which is kind of the theme of Gunpla. Now, where were we? Backpack. That's where we was. Twin satellite cannon, A plus B, cutscene. Okay. Yes, this is the one that actually has a cutscene. I remember the Gundam X backpack didn't, so you could just get interrupted. This one actually stops your enemies from doing anything and then does it, so significantly better in that regard. B power is not bad. It's not great. It's not bad. I just don't like the fact that it has such a significant cooldown for a B power skill. Weapon. With speed attribute, job gauge increase boosted. Okay. Back parts EX skill power boosted. Okay, I like that one. So if you're someone that really likes the job gauge system and really likes the burst and everything, there you go. You can just have a nice EX skill on your back part. Okay. Beam Javelin. With Gundam type, initial EX skill charge boost. Melee damage raised 10%, EX skill power boost. I like you. Pretty cool dude. Okay. Let's look at the whip. When armor 60% or more, strong melee crit rate boost. I've talked about crit rate, and the worst part is this is strong crit rate, so only one attack in your entire melee chain is going to actually benefit from this chance. So, with speed attribute, melee power boosted. That's pretty solid. You get speed, easy to use melee, you get a boost. Great. I don't like that first trait though. The rifle. Yeah. When attacked with beam, shooting damage output boosted by 35. That is a travesty of a trait. When attacking with beam, shooting power boosted by 35%. That is the exact opposite of a travesty of a trait. That is actually a pretty good one. Don't like the first trait though. Completely worthless. Okay. Hopping along to the last item here, which is the defense plate. Oh, we're too fancy to call it a shield. It's a plate. Anyways, with speed attribute, enemy shooting power reduced by 30%, and with speed attribute, shooting crit rate boosted. Again, we see a stupidly high number on the crit rate, but it's still crit rate. And enemy shooting power reduced. Yeah, I'm not really feeling this one, fortunately. Neat. Okay, well, let's look at the age effects. And let's take a gander at your noggin over here. Middle shooter job, boost funnel uptime by 50%. I really don't want to go into another funnel tirade, so I won't. Just let it be known that beam funnels, on average, are garbage, because they're just not balanced properly. Whereas physical funnels are dope, and they hurt. Use the right funnels, kids. Alright, with power attribute, EX skill power boosted. No complaints. Overall, if you're using something that relies on either a actually powerful shooting based funnel, cool, or, you know, physical funnel and you're using a middle shooter job, can't really see that being a thing. Outside of those cases, only the second trait's really useful, but still useful. Or so. What do we got from you, dog? FX Burst Mode. Raise your melee attack by 39%. Nice. Raise your beam resist by 29%. Okay, that's a thing. Your Gunpla resists flinching for a set period of time. That's a thing. Okay. 39% is not a terrible multiplier. It's quite nice. 49% is typically what we would see. And then 54% is the current ceiling. So, yeah. Most of the way there. Let's look at the arms. Will you do a guide video for new features? It's been overwhelming. You and me both, man. Do you know how much stuff got added into this? Do you know how much stuff I'm gonna have to pour over to make a guide video for people to understand this new patch? Maybe. I'll put it into the maybe pile. Just like I did with the last patch. Very little. Look at mana over here. I'm sorry I don't live and breathe Gunpla Warfare mana. Burst slash A-A. Squad recovers 50% or 58% of your armor and you raise melee attack of your squad by 29. Cool. Cool. A power is still pretty good. I don't really know how I feel about that. It should be S, but was the age FX limited? Or is this a standard? I'm pretty sure the FX was a limited too. A power is not bad. It's got some juice behind it. Not, you know, like S rank, but still pretty good. Is it limited? No. Limited, standard, limited, limited. I'm gonna say limited. I'm gonna go with that. It's weird to see an EX skill that is a cutscene on a, you know, on the suit with A power. I was truly expecting S. It'll still hurt, for sure, but I don't know. I definitely would have gone for an S on that. C funnels. Launch C funnels in all directions. You can move freely while it's active. Look at that. Beam melee, A plus pierce, B power. That's what I'm talking about. Why can't we get this for our beam shooting funnels? Why do we have to suffer? On that note, I need to alter Kshatriya arms. Oh, okay. Them some fine legs. Alright, moving on to the backpack. Barrier tackle, A minus B plus. Raise your melee attack by 19%. That's really scraping the bottom of the barrel for numbers. Raise your melee defense by 19%. Could be worse. Alright, Pro Tag, Gundam type. Yep. Like, it's not a cutscene. Has that going for it. And based on the description, it prevents damage and then you rush. So you know what? I'm going to say this is pretty good. Moving on. A rifle. Well, Pro Tag, EX skill power boost, and when buffed, EX skill power boost. Right. I remembered this rifle. Because it had such a ridiculous name, I couldn't help but remember it and laugh at it. The Stungle rifle. Good traits. Get your Stungle today. Alright, moving on. Okay. With power attribute, initial EX skill charge boost. Alright. Arm parts EX skill power boost. Alright. No major complaints here. Solid. Yeah. If only launchers were like not shit. Anyways, yeah, cool. That's like some interesting buffs to see from the altars. Okay. Well, I think that's pretty much it. Cause yeah, we've gone over all the stuff. Welfare, gacha, Twitter videos, shops, altars. Alright. So, daily crew missions. Am I really gonna have to go over all the patch notes? Please spare me. Spare me! Oh yeah, right, the 2 new AI pilots. You're right, Alex. I forgot about them. What are the daily missions anyways? Oh. Wait, we clear this 150 times to get half of an exchange ticket? What? Boy? Boy? Yeah, the new type difficulty is interesting. I'll try it another day. The last thing I wanted to do is look at the 2 new AI pilots. First thing I did as soon as I got them was just max tune them out. Because, yeah. Limited time stuff. Sucker for it. Now let's take a look at them. With technique attribute, EX skill power, EX skill recovery boosted by 28%. If you have a heal bot on your team, this is going to be pretty useful. Coupled with the supporter job that she has, further reducing cooldowns for those types of skills. Nice. Really feeds into it. Support type mid-range, not the most common of word tags combined. So that's pretty good. Numerically though, really nothing to write home about. She does have a little bit of shot attack on her, which is nice for a base 3-star pilot. And after shot defense carryover, you know, for a 3-star, she's pretty solid in the shot department. Unfortunately, her job license supporter heavily gimps a lot of those gains. So yeah, use her as a support pilot, don't use her as a stat pilot. That's pretty much all that boils down to. And then Arindo. With power attribute, long shot attack raised. That's only for your neutrals, not your EX skills. Whoop-de-doo. Ace exclusive high firepower. This is some serious disparity. So you give Rendo ace exclusive and high firepower. One of them is the best shooter tag in the game. You give her long shooter as her job license. And then you give her a decent chunk of shot attack on top of that. And then her second tag is high firepower. And then you got Sana, who has supporter job. Okay, whatever, man. Well, I don't even work here. Alright, the trait's pretty much a write-off, though. Like I said, numerically, she's not really that bad. Again, for a 3-star pilot, she's pretty good. Really good word tags, too, so she's definitely good for kind of pocket usage, so to speak. Huh. Anyways, I think that's it then. Time is the name is 11:30. Good thing I started early. All right. Well, with that, guys, I'm going to gonna wrap up, and yeah, I'll see you guys either in a few days for a discussion video about the new stuff, or 6 days from now for my normal impression stream. Yeah. Peace out, guys. Thanks for tuning in and hanging out. I'm sorry I couldn't do this as soon as the patch dropped, but responsibilities. So, anyways. Peace out, guys. See you in the next one.